Hey everybody, this is Jamie Stillman with Team Stillman Mortgage. Today we're in the studio just talking about life, some real estate and mortgage with my good buddy, Mr. Blair Braswell. He's got a lot of experience in all those areas. So we're just going to talk a little bit. And as always, we're here to help any way that we can. So reach out if we can help you. And thanks for being here, Blair.
Man, my pleasure to be here. Experience, that's another word for old now, right?
I've heard that it is, but I try to pretend that it's not.
Okay. That's how I was kind of, every time I hear experience now, when I was younger, I thought experience meant, full of knowledge and stuff. But with each birthday that comes up, I think it just means I'm old.
It's just a nice way to say, well, there's a bunch of those words out there. There's like seasoned.
Seasons. That's sometimes, seasoned is one of those words that I don't know if I'm comfortable with yet, but I guess I am seasoned.
Yeah, I guess. Every birthday I have too, it starts to make me feel a little bit like, I'm older, but I don't really want to.
Yeah.
And somehow my kids get older, and then I have grandkids, and so I'm like, whoa, what just happened here?
Nothing will make you feel older and younger at the same time than grandkids.
That's for sure. Because you'll jump on the floor and play with them like nothing hurts, and you're good to go, and you can jump down there.
If my wife asks me to pick something off on the floor, I go into convulsions thinking that I'm going to pull a hammy or something. But boy, if John needs something, I'm knocking old ladies out of the way to get to whatever's in the floor. So yeah,
anything they need, anything they want. It's the coolest thing in the world.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. So how many do you have now? Is John your only?
I'm about to have a second.
Really?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep. Emily is going to have a little girl this summer.
Oh, wow. So you're going to have one of each. You'll get to experience both ways.
Yeah, and neither will be spoiled at all.
Zero. Not going to happen.
Not one bit.
Well, as we were just talking about, I'm a seasoned grandparent because I have three.
Yeah.
So, but all three granddaughters.
Yeah.
So I haven't had the grandson yet, but there's still some people out there. Baylor, my youngest son's engaged. He's actually getting married in July this year. So, and him and his fiance, they just keep saying, well, we're having a boy. Like they get to control it, but, they're just, that's what we're going to do.
They do. Okay. And, what our age, our generation, we didn't get to control anything, but the younger generation controls it all. Whatever they want, they get.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they just wishing it comes true.
Yeah. Wish and hope.
Yeah.
Wish and hope. So I know me and you talk a whole lot because we actually work together.
Yeah.
From the real estate side, anything going on with real estate or kind of our market, kind of outlooks and what you think's going on?
As seasoned as I am, none of us know what's going on.
Yeah.
We can act like we do. The best forecast is history. And that sounds backwards, but it really is. So, what that tells us is, as we know, the rates have started to come down a little bit. Eyebrows are starting to raise a little bit.
Yep.
So, and coincidentally, spring will be here soon. So, I say that to say this: good things are on the horizon. So, I think I looked at the camera.
I think you did. Might we actually have what before the craziness of COVID? We used to have this thing called spring buying season,
right? And
then we just had chaos for a couple of years. So there might actually be a cycle that goes back to what we were used to, possibly.
I don't know that we'll ever see the chaos that we saw around COVID, and I don't know that I want it. But I wouldn't mind maybe just a taste of chaos.
Just a little bit.
Just a taste of it. Man, what a time that was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was from both sides, from all sides of the business. It was something else. I mean, I was talking to somebody in the title business the other day, and they were just talking about the capacity at that time, how crazy it got. They couldn't hire enough people to handle everything that was coming in just to keep everything moving.
No, it was nuts. And when after the initial shock of what was going on, and people started trying to live a little bit, I'll never forget the first big open house that I went to where people actually showed up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because people were afraid to go to open houses. They were afraid to go to showings.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody lived in the house, man, it was tough I don't know if I want to go in their house or not, because, there was so much uncertainty that was going out there. But
yeah, yeah.
I will never forget an open house that I went to, or it wasn't a scheduled open house, but there was a place in Nolensville that had just hit the market that everybody and their mother wanted this place. So it became an open house by necessity because how many people wanted to show it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kid you not, when I got there were probably 20 cars.
Wow.
And, of course, this was right in the middle of all the craziness. And it went multiple offers. I think the guy I wound up becoming buddies with the guy that was the listing agent.
Yeah.
I think there were 20-something offers.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I remember the chaos part to me is like, I remember prior to that being in the business, an agent would say multiple offers. And I'm like, oh, they got 3 or 4 offers on the deal. During this time, people were literally posting pictures of their kitchen table, everything, where they had 30 offers on one home that they're trying to go through and do due diligence and present 30 offers to their seller of which one do we want to take.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's chaos.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
And it sellers loved it.
Yeah.
Buyers weren't real crazy about it.
It got really tough for buyers.
It was really tough.
Yeah, we were going through that time where everybody's like, "Oh, this is great, everything's happening," but what a lot of people didn't see is the people that didn't have money to pay cash over or wanted to do, or loans with down payment assistance, FHA, and down payment assistance, THDA. That all got a bad name all of a sudden. Like, oh God, we don't even want those people touring the house if that's what they're approved for.
Yeah, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
If you can't go.
You don't have
X over asking, then you're just wasting everybody's time.
Yeah.
And it was nuts. And I'm not alone in this. We spoke about this when it was going on, is I felt sorry for first-time home buyers.
Oh, yeah. They were completely taken out of the market.
Yeah. And it became a point in our area where first-time homeowners were having to buy $350,000, $400,000 houses.
Oh yeah, yeah.
To be able to get into it.
Yeah.
And the only way they could get into one was to buy something new construction.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. And hope that it wasn't something that somebody wanted really bad, that they'd come in and pay over, $20,000 over what new construction was asking if it could, and waive appraisals. And I know it's not worth that, but I still want to live right there.
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think we would have multiple offers on new construction stuff, but it was going on. Believe me, because we lost out on a few.
Yeah, y'all bought during that time, right?
Oh,
yeah,
and I thought, you've got to be crazy. And then I thought, what are we doing?
Yeah. And then you've got now we fast forward a couple years, or maybe not even a couple years. I think it's about a year after you started getting the people that bought sight unseen, hadn't even seen the property. They're in the property less than a year, and they're calling and saying, I don't like living here.
Yeah.
I don't like the neighbors. I don't like the neighborhood. I don't like the traffic. I don't like the drive. You paid, $30,000 over the list price. Yeah. You've been there less than a year. You never saw the property before you moved in. So what are we going to do here?
Maybe you need to give your neighbors a second chance.
Yeah. Maybe try to get along with them.
Knock on their door, see if you can't bring them a crock pot full of something.
And then you've got, like we were talking about first-time home buyers, now you've got a completely different issue. So now that prices are where they are and the economy's where it is, now you've got affordability. Yeah. So now you've got tons of programs out there that can do down payment assistance, help people get in homes. But now people look at the payment and they go, what?
Yeah.
And rent's caught up to it, where rent's kind of like, whoa, what am I talking about? But, a couple kids just out of school, maybe with a degree where they're just getting that entry-level job, they look at it and they go, man, I can't pay that a month.
Tough.
It's really tough,
Yeah.
So it's a completely different problem, even though it's not the outbidding everybody. Now you're looking at, well, once I add in I don't know, I hadn't looked at the exact stat lately, but average car payment, $700-800 a month now, completely different.
Yeah.
Grocery bill every month, completely different than it was a year or two ago. So, I look at my kids, most of them are in their mid to late 20s, getting into the 30s now. And it's just, I've been doing this a long time. So they just look at me like, how's it work?
Yeah.
I start to talk to them and they're like, man. Or, got a kid that lives, in an apartment complex. It's not crazy. It's got some good amenities and it's nice and it's got, it's gated. So you got to come in or out. So it's a little bit much better than the apartments I lived in as a kid.
Yeah.
But, with the couple bills they've got and stuff, it's $1,900 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right.
So, they're going and on I don't know, let's just make up a number, $250,000 home with down payment assistance, no money down, your payment's going to be more than that.
Yeah.
So if the 1,900's tough and you want to get out of renting, you got to go even more a month.
Yep.
Not to mention 2-income households, they're starting out a path where probably some of our parents might have had a stay-at-home mom or dad at some point, and then that's progressed. And now it's kind of like, I don't know how anybody does it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Between the cost of daycare.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
I can. Here we go with talking like old guys. Remember back in the day?
Get off my lawn, guys. He coming to visit?
I routinely tell people to get off my lawn, even if they're not on it, just for being old. But remember, little test. Remember when we thought that a $250 a month car payment was feasible?
I do. I do.
And I'll still never forget the first one I had that creeped up close to 400. And I thought, okay, either I'm an idiot or I'm buying too much car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you said, now, I mean, that's nothing. I was in the car business 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And 20 years ago.
Very experienced.
Yeah, seasoned and experienced guy. But I've still got several buddies that are in that business.
Yeah.
And when one of them told me it was not uncommon for a family to leave the dealership and be paying over $1,000 a month in car notes, I thought, you've lost your mind.
Yeah. What are they driving?
Yeah.
And that's what you start thinking, because I've started to see more and more of them. And that used to be an outlier.
Yeah.
And I'd see somebody paying that and I'm thinking, what are you driving? And you're probably paying 20% interest on it.
Right.
But no, as times crept on, now like you're talking about, that's a nice SUV.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
then you find out they're paying 1.9% interest on it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And got a $875 a month car payment. And
yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Well, luckily I got it on 84 months finance.
Exactly. So it makes it very manageable. And I mean, I think back, I'm trying to remember, and again, the old thing, but the first house I bought, I think was $83,000. And I think my payment might have been $700 or $800. And I remember leaving my apartment where I had roommates and we were splitting it to go in, whatever it was, maybe $800 a month. I was like, how am I ever going to afford this?
Yeah.
Or how fast, if something goes wrong, am I going to be in trouble? $800 a month?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that's just insane to pay for a place to live.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's changed us a little bit. And, as we get older, I think things always change because the generation before talks about it. But we went through this, I feel like, was a major shift where housing and stuff went up much faster than the norm.
Yeah.
Everything went up much faster than the norm. So we've been a part of this kind of like just, boom, really fast.
Yeah.
Really fast adjustment. And I think it's going to be interesting to see, like you talked about with grandkids. What's a car going to cost when John's 16? Oh, God. just a decent get me to work and back car, let alone. Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. And then there's the people that say, well, we'll be driving. Maybe we'll be flying cars by then.
Right.
If the Jetsons have any predictions.
Oh my goodness.
But I can just imagine.
And I'm sitting here thinking about first vehicles, like you said, and what it'll be. And I had in 86. Is it 86? 86, 85. Gosh, how old am I? Wait a minute. My uncle gave me his truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, let's just say it had skin afflictions on the outside of it, that had eaten through it. And it was burnt orange.
Okay.
A custom deluxe Chevy truck with a 3 in the tree,
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what I learned to drive on. It was so great that there wasn't even a center cap, not cap, on my steering wheel. The cover was gone where it had been busted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you didn't know this, that cover's there for a reason.
You don't say.
Yeah, I went there to honk the horn one time, and I looked like, you remember Bugs Bunny and the cartoons when we were kids, when they would get shocked and you would see the skeleton out.
Yeah,
yeah, that happened.
That happened.
So
it still had power to the horn, but without that cap.
Yeah. Oh, and it made a sound, and I don't know if it was the horn sound or it was me screaming when I tried to honk it. But,
yeah.
I kind of got off on a tangent there, but thinking about first cars, that would have been a 10-year-old car,
mm-hmm.
and I thought it was ancient.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you said 1986, so my first car was a '86 Ford Escort hatchback.
Hatchback. Had trouble keeping the ladies off of you.
I did. Four door as well. Not even the coupe. So it was tough for me back then.
Oh man, I hope you saved some women for everybody else.
I tried. It was a tough job.
Oh man.
I drove that thing until, I think I got it when I was 16, and I had it, I don't know how many years, but a couple 100,000 miles, and drove that thing till the wheels fell off. And I think my grandmother was the one that actually bought it for me. And I think that's what's so funny is I think maybe she paid $2,000 for it, and it wasn't an old beater. It wasn't brand new, but we learned that lesson a couple years ago. Well, there's how time goes past. I say a couple years ago when our youngest is 23.
Right.
So probably a couple years ago when she was 16, it was 7 years ago. I feel like it was just recently. But, we're just looking for what we'd call a beater. Just looking for a car. She doesn't drive much besides back to school and back and forth. Looking around, man, there's no couple $1,000 cars anymore. No. It's kind of like the house thing. Yeah. Somebody says, "Oh, a house is under 200,000." You're like, how much money's got to go into it to make it livable?
Is it livable?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Where you could pick up an old car that just, nobody loved and maybe needed a few little things and you could drive it. That doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Used cars are, $10,000, $15,000.
Yeah. And you're scared to death to buy that one because how long is it going to last? Yep. Will it even get me to the grocery store?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a totally different environment for sure. Yeah. It is. They're looking at different things than we did. For sure. But so not to shift gears on you because we'll stay in the life category.
Yeah.
But have you liked switching over to doing mortgages as well as real estate?
Well, it's definitely been a learning experience, and it's every day is still learning something new, and there's so much more to this than I thought there was going to be, because, I like to sometimes think that I'm smarter than I am, and I'm really a lot dumber than I am. And man, I tell you what, it's given me a whole new appreciation. Not that I thought it was going to be easy.
Sure.
But there's so much that goes into it, and that's what's so great about having a support staff.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Like I don't know, let's say support staff, like a family.
Yeah.
Like we've got at CMG, from the Team Stillman network to the Carrie Ann My Mortgage team, which we're both parts of. It's awesome having that many great people that want to work together to have the same end game.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. And I
Yeah.
mean, I was actually interviewing a loan officer yesterday that's
Yeah.
just thinking about their options and just talking to them. And they're not ready to move or anything like that, but just having the conversation. And that was one of the biggest things I brought up. I was like, still ever changing, because mortgages stuff change all the time. But the thing I like about where I am, and that's literally what I said, was the support staff.
Yeah.
Because it's set up in such a way that whatever you're trying to find out, there's somebody to call. There's a Carrie Ann, there's a Chris, there's a Sam, there's a, just names on down the river. Carrie as our head underwriter, and all these systems have set up to kind of like scenarios of what to do. And that's why I stay there. And I've been doing it a long time, and there's so many things to learn. And like I said, it changes. It changes from, we were talking about this morning. We were talking about, whether they force you to pay off a credit card when you close it, or is it a good idea?
Yeah.
Just little things like that over time you can think, well, I've done this. This is how it's always done. It's like, no, they changed that policy a couple months ago. Oh, they changed this rule a couple months ago. So it's not boring by any stretch of the imagination, because it's always changing. But I think the way they have the people in place there that we've been able to put in place, it's what drives me every day, is to know I may not know everything about everything, but I've got a lot of people around me that can help me figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes it a lot. Easier is not the right word. It makes it a lot more comforting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
To know that no matter what situation, no matter what scenario you've got in front of you, somebody in our network has seen that.
Yeah. That's it. That's the thing. And that's what I love about, a couple of people on my team. Steve has been doing this a while, so he's seen stuff that I haven't seen, or hadn't seen it from this side.
Yeah.
And that's why we get together every month and do the mastermind thing when people are available to come to that. It's just all of us talking about what's going on.
Yeah.
And this person might have, this came up with a client, or this came up with a client. It's kind of like, oh, man, I thought I've seen a lot. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And it's what I always say when somebody's like, this is how that works. I'm always like, that's going to come up again.
Yep.
It's going to come up again. So it may, we'll figure it out from there. But yeah, I really enjoy that part of it. And it's been great having you over there, starting to learn how it goes, and just talking to people about it, and, being there to help people. We're getting into a market now where rates are starting to dip a little bit. So people are real curious about, should they refinance?
Yep.
Should they do a home equity line of credit? And it really I think the cool part about, I don't know, I guess some people would say, wouldn't it be great if just everybody that called you could refinance? You could save them a lot of money, and you could make money doing all that kind of stuff. But I think what the coolest part is that's when you really get to know people. Yeah. From the loan officer standpoint, when they're purchasing a home, there's one goal. We got to get them in this house. What program fits the best? Let's get them in there. Yeah. When people call us about refinancing or doing a HELOC, then you get to say, well, how long are you going to stay in the house?
Yeah.
Do you want to do a HELOC because it's going to be an interest-only payment? You're going to pay it off soon. You're thinking about selling. Maybe we shouldn't do this if we're doing that. So you really get a chance to say yes, no, maybe, think about it this way. So I think that's when you really get to help people.
Yeah.
I mean, you're helping people with the biggest thing in the world when you help them purchase a house. But like I said, it's just that one goal.
Yeah. It's
like, let's get in the house. But I love talking to people as they progress in life. Well, now we got a kid.
Yeah.
Now we got 2 kids. Should we, and they call their agents the same way, but like, should we get a bigger house? Should we sell this one? Should we just try to make this work for now and wait till another time? And none of us have a crystal ball, but those are the conversations that I think help me get to know people the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I like it a lot. So what else is going on with, life in general, or, maybe not even real life. We talk a little bit about few TV shows and entertainment and sports and stuff that we watch. So,
that was another thing that COVID did.
Yes. Boy, that changed the whole entertainment industry, didn't it?
Oh, man. That introduced me more to streaming.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't have it to begin with, but, you and I'd be on the horn talking about, hey, have you seen this?
Yeah.
Hey, check this show out.
Yeah.
And now I can't stop.
Yeah, I streamed very little before then. I'll admit I was kind of the slow adapter. I was like, I almost thought in my head, well, we got 200 channels I don't watch anyways.
Yeah.
Streaming service probably another thing that has a bunch of stuff I'm not going to watch on it.
Yeah.
But with COVID, I had enough time to finally start watching some stuff, and now I'm like, yeah, now whole different world.
Oh man, it totally broadened my horizons. I can remember actually when people would say they would talk about The Office, and I would have zero desire. It sounded like nothing I would be interested in. And then next thing you know, I'm in season 3, episode 9, and I'm hooked.
Yeah.
And I thought this is the whole premise behind it sounded so stupid.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
It's awesome.
In my life.
It's awesome. Huge Office fan.
Oh my gosh.
And it did this thing where, I mean, like we haven't been spoiled enough with, microwaves and instantaneous, instant gratification.
Yeah.
Now, if I find a show I like, I'm like, God, I've got to wait a week to watch another episode.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. That's the worst part of a new season coming out from something.
Yeah. How can they make me wait?
Yeah.
Why can't I just watch the whole season right now?
Oh, that's what's so great about some of them, like Dexter.
Yeah.
When it would come out, when a season would launch, the whole season would launch that day.
Yeah.
Now, I'd be worthless for 3 days and wouldn't get off my couch. But, man, how awesome was that? But then you get something like Landman that I finally got my wife to watch, which I can't believe that I got her to watch something like that.
Same here.
And you should have seen the look on her face when I told her the finale is this coming week.
Yeah.
She actually said, "What are we going to do?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, Mayor of Kingstown's 4 seasons.
There you go.
Hadn't seen it, so you need to start that." So
yeah. There's shows like that, and I'll get my wife into some of the shows, others she doesn't care to watch. So usually the conversation goes, I'll be like, "Is there any shows we're gonna watch tonight?"
Yeah.
And she'll go, "Oh, you can watch yours. I got a book I'm catching up on or whatever." But so I have the ones those are yours, watch those. And then the ones that she finally gets into, and I'll watch them. And sometimes she'll have the earpods in reading the book supposedly. And she'll ask me, "What happened to whatever?" I'm like, "Thought you weren't watching this show. I thought this was my show."
Right.
Yeah. So she's got into a couple of them, but yeah, I mean, I almost like some of the shows that you and other people tell me to go back and watch, because then I can just watch them straight through.
Yep.
Because it kills me. I got hooked so bad. I had like those 3 shows, Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown, and Landman. Just boom, 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 boom. I was watching them. And then when one would end, I'm like, oh, 2 shows. One show.
There was about a 2-week window this year.
Yeah.
Where Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown, and Landman were all on at the same time.
Yeah. That was my glory days.
Oh, my gosh.
Loved it.
And what a lineup. That reminds me. You remember the old days when they had must-see TV?
Oh, yeah.
The greatest ever NBC had it. I think it was Family Ties, Cosby, Night Court.
Oh, my gosh. All those are at the same time.
And Cheers were all on back to back to back.
Wow.
That's the greatest night in TV. It was Thursday nights.
Yeah, yeah.
And having those shows back to
back, that's crazy.
And I can't remember. Night Court was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers was on before it, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Cosby. Yeah, it started off family. I think it was
Family Ties,
then Cosby, and God.
Wow. And that's what those couple of weeks were right there, where you got those 3 shows.
Yeah. Hey, we were born in the 70s, but we call ourselves children of the 80s.
Yeah.
I had some Heathcliff Huxtable sweaters.
Did you really?
You remember those?
I do.
The multicolor things?
I do.
Man, I can almost smell the Dracar right now.
My sister was in town. My youngest sister was in town last week. They came and hung out with us for a little while, and I think the TV we were playing a trivia game, and something came up about Will Smith, and she was telling my wife, she goes, "You would not believe," she's like, "this guy in high school She's like, you see all the stuff Will Smith used to wear in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I was like, yeah, I watch reruns and I go, I had that shirt.
Oh yeah.
I wore those overalls. And my wife's looking at me and she's like, she's remembering school because we went to school together a lot. And she was like, gosh, I forgot about those days. What a trip. I was like,
You may hurt your feelings real quick.
I'm afraid you're going to tell me how seasoned I am right now.
Will Smith right now
Yeah.
is older than Uncle Phil was in that show.
That seems crazy.
You may hurt you even more.
Yeah.
You and I are older than Uncle Phil was.
Wow, man, he seemed like an old dude. He seemed like an old guy during that show. Man, that's crazy.
We're older than Red Fox was.
Now that don't make any logical sense.
No,
that man looked like he was 70 on that show.
Yeah, I didn't know this till a couple of years ago. He dyed his hair to make himself look
look
older.
old.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Yeah, we're older right now than Red Fox was. We're older than Archie Bunker.
This isn't helping, Blair.
No,
this is not.
No.
Not
How
helping.
am I
a bit.
not a life coach?
Yeah, I know. I feel really motivated right now.
Sunshine.
I'm so pumped up. Where's a wall for me to run through right now? I'd run through it right now. I'm pumped. Man, that's wild. So, in the entertainment category, what's going on with the Big Orange and the Preds and in the sports world right now? I know you follow just a little bit. I can tell from the socks.
Yeah, man. The yellow doesn't quite go with the tan. It clashes just a wee bit, but I can wear the Pred colors again now.
Yeah.
It didn't look like I was going to be able to the way the season started.
It was looking bleak at
oh my
first
gosh.
15, 20 games.
I thought for a minute their new sponsor was going to be Chico's Bail Bonds, the
From
sponsor
Bad
the
News Bears.
Yeah. They were just awful, but they got on a heater, and I think right now they're actually tied for one of the wild card positions.
Wow.
Which is crazy considering where they were.
Yeah.
In this season. So, gosh, as bad as they played, I still watched them.
Yeah.
That was, I think, that's another thing that COVID kind of did for me, was getting me into hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I always liked watching it, but and us having a local team.
Yeah. That's a big part of it, I think.
I was late to the party on that.
Yeah.
But man, I love watching the Predators. I love going to the games. Wait a minute, let me rephrase that. I love being at the games.
Okay.
I don't love going to the game. I don't like leaving the game, but I like being at the game.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could just transport there to your seat, transport back out.
Oh, man, it's a mess to get in and out of there. Kind of the same thing with going to a UT game, which you got to experience.
I did get to experience it.
This year.
Unfortunately for me, it was a big win for UT.
Yeah. Hey,
I might not have wanted to be there if it was a loss.
Hey,
so.
I was at the game that you wished that you would have been at.
I'm sure.
But
yeah,
I think that's being stricken from the record. I think that they're stripping Vandy of that win.
Didn't count.
I don't think it counted.
Gotcha.
I think that something's going to come back on Pavia or one of his brothers, and they're going to strip them of that win, and they're going to give that back to us.
They might. Well, I think he's got like 3 years of eligibility left,
think
so we'll see.
I think
we'll see.
so. Goodness gracious, but yeah, that I've been a UT guy for forever. I'll be 54 next week.
Wow.
And ever since I can remember, my blood hath runneth orange.
Gotcha.
Kind of as a family thing. My I don't know if I told you this or not. My grandfather actually played running back at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, you were telling me about that one day.
And
that's an interesting fact.
For
your lineage.
He went there because that's where his mother wanted him to go.
Okay.
He didn't want to go.
Yeah.
His blood ran orange too. He wound up being a season ticket holder when I was a kid. For Vandy and UT.
Yeah. Okay.
And there were a couple of times where the schedule actually worked, where he went to a Tennessee game that was an early kickoff,
Mm-hmm.
would leave early, third or fourth quarter, and come to the Vandy game in Nashville.
Oh, wow. Catch both games in one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that's another
cool.
thing about my grandfather, boy. He I don't think he ever stayed an entire game. And it didn't matter if Tennessee was up by 40,
Oh, really?
they were down by 40, or
Yeah.
it was tied. He was not staying
He's not
because
staying.
he was beating that crowd.
I'm not getting in that traffic.
Or he thought
Yeah.
he was, but
Yeah.
we still sat in traffic the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he season tickets, and he took me to my first game up
Yeah.
there, and I fell in love with going to the game since then.
Yeah.
And man, there's just something about college football.
Oh man, it's so exciting, and I'll admit that.
Yeah.
I've college football is bar none. It's
Yeah.
just more exciting than anything, and it was really cool for me to go to the UT game
Yeah.
and really see that size crowd. Because
Yeah.
I haven't went around to a lot of different stadiums, and just to see that size crowd and how much they were into it, it was a really cool environment. And
Yeah.
even though it wasn't I had to go watch another UT win this year because I took my son down to the Swamp to watch a game. And that environment was really, really cool. To be able to do both of those in 1 year was phenomenal. Think about that. I sat and watched 2 UT wins this year and didn't even make it to a Vanderbilt game all season. So I don't know what's wrong with me and my scheduling and what I'm doing, but
we're
it was cool.
going to need you to go to more Tennessee games.
Apparently.
Because
The
yeah.
ones I set out worked out real good for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's the games in the South are unmatched, in my opinion, with college football.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough when I was in school, I was a manager for the football team, and I was on the sidelines for every game for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So this was my first year there was when the first time, or not the first time, but one of the more recent times the SEC expanded. And
Okay.
we got South Carolina and Arkansas that year.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been to all of the stadiums with the exception of Auburn and Ole Miss in
Okay.
that group. Now, since we added A&M and Missouri, I hadn't been to those places
Gotcha.
either. But, man, every stadium has got its own unique experience, and they were all cool.
Yeah. I mean, I got crazy hooked this year because, 2 years ago, me and Baylor went to a Saints Titans game.
Oh, yeah.
So our kind
Remember
of
that?
our kind of plan for father son was going to be, hey, let's go to an away game,
Yep.
watch the Titans play, and that was pretty cool. But going to Neyland and then going to the Swamp, we got done talking this year. We were like, you know what? Maybe we go to a Titans game every other year.
Right.
Why don't we fit in a college experience
Yep.
and see some of these stadiums? Because it's
different.
It's same thing. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, watching pro football is great. I grew up just being a huge football fan in general. We didn't have a team.
Yep.
So when we had a team, it was real easy to gravitate to
Yep.
them because I was just like, man, I always wanted to have a team. So I don't care if they're good or not. I'm on board, no matter how frustrated I get. But it's just different watching pros in person or on TV than the atmosphere in college football is something else.
I've heard that Kansas City
Mm-hmm.
is similar. And that's about the only
Yeah.
pro team that I've heard that even comes close to having that pageantry is not the right word,
Yeah.
but just that authentic feel
Yeah.
of just pride and the school spirit
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things like that. One of the coolest places I went to was South Carolina.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
stadium is fantastic. And you
Yeah.
talk about loud. Man, when they play that Sandstorm, I think's the name of it.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. I went there twice. Fantastic atmosphere. And one of the times we went there, they were actually filming the movie The Program.
Oh man.
If you remember that.
Oh, it's in my top. Man, most people that I ask have never heard
Yeah.
of that movie.
Oh, it's one
But
of the most
I love it.
underrated sports
Big
movies
time.
of all
I
time.
love it.
Oh, well, when you go back and watch it, if we hadn't had this conversation before, when it shows some of the live shots of the games and stuff,
Yeah.
look in the crowd and you actually see a hint of some orange
Do
in
you?
the crowd.
Okay.
It's at South Carolina Stadium. The only person that I knew I'd love to have seen the movie first and then go back and experience that, because I'm sure there were other guys that were on the sideline that were in the movie I didn't know about. But I did see James Caan.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he was on the
That's
sidelines during that game, which we lost. The experience, though, was fantastic. What a great movie.
Oh, man. I've told so many people what a great movie that is, underrated. And I remember just some of the characters and some of the roles. I knew people very similar to some of those guys when I was high school, college. And I mean, you know, some of them for Hollywood, you know, dressed up a little bit or whatever. But I mean, it just really gave you a feel. I feel like the program gave you a real feel of if you didn't know before then, because that's, you know, everything's out in the open now. There's so much, nothing surprises anybody. But when that movie came out, kind of like, you don't know the lengths that people will go to make stuff happen in football.
Yeah.
It was one of the first things that I saw that was like, okay,
We may or may not have had some of those guys at UT.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is that another confirm nor deny?
Can't do it, but you might be on the right track if you thought of some things.
Gotcha.
But, gosh, what a great that to me is one of the. I'm not even going to say it's one of the top 10 greatest sports movies. It's one of the top 10 most underrated movies of all time.
Yeah. Because like I said, I'll bring it up and people will go, "What?" And I'm like, just Netflix, Amazon, whatever. Look it up. The program. It's great. It's great.
It's definitely in my top 5 of football movies.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. You know
that one, and you know, I've got the poster in my movie room at home. The North Dallas 40.
Oh, do you really? Okay.
You've got to see that.
I still hadn't seen that.
Oh,
I still hadn't seen it.
It's based loosely on the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
In the late 60s.
All right, gotcha.
But this team is called the North Dallas Bulls.
Okay.
But you can tell who is supposed to be who.
Loosely based on.
In that movie.
Yeah.
Mac Davis, the quarterback, is supposed to be Don Meredith.
Okay.
And the backup quarterback is a goody two-shoes that is definitely supposed to be Roger Staubach.
Very cool.
But
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh, it's such a great movie. Could probably never be made today, and I'll leave it at that.
Gotcha. A lot of movies a lot of the 70s and 80s movies, I'll go back and watch something and I'm like, never thought about it, but man, if that came out today, it would not pass.
Yeah, it would. They could make it, but they'd have to change some things.
Change quite a bit. Yeah, sometimes people say things now on older stuff that I'm watching, and I'm like, man, they'd be jobless if they said that today, you know? And it's different stuff. But I was gonna say, man, you know, you got your great movies like that, then you got all the, you know, the inspirational football movies that you got to see all of those, you know, the Rudies, even if you're not a Notre Dame fan. And what was I thinking about Brian's song? If you want to cry, if you want to
first
if you want to have your heart ripped out,
that take my man card away. I don't care.
Boy, you ain't
cried.
Kidding. Yeah.
And do you see the remake?
I didn't. I remember when it came out, but I never did get to see it.
You know, some things you just don't remake.
Yeah. Just leave it as it was.
And Billy D. Williams was
Is that who
Gale
played?
Sayers.
Okay.
And James Caan.
Yeah.
From the program was Brian Piccolo.
Mm-hmm.
And I was late to the party on that.
Yeah.
But I cried. Fantastic.
That's an emotional movie for sure.
Yeah, and I tell you another good one, a good inspirational one is the Mark Wahlberg one with where he's the Philadelphia the Papaya.
Oh man, I know that movie and I can't think. Is that the Silver Lining one? Is that what isn't it called something like that?
Oh, I can't remember
what
it is.
I know exactly what you're talking about though.
Really, really good movie.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
Really good movie. Yeah.
Wahlberg's a talented dude.
Yeah, he is. He's done all right for himself.
Yeah.
All right for himself.
Yeah. Him and his brother both. You know?
Yeah. They've done all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Blue Bloods, great show.
Yeah. Another really good one.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah. Really good show.
Yeah. I'm secure enough in my masculinity to say that I liked New Kids on the Block.
So you know about my New Kids on the Block story, right?
No, but I'm dying.
Oh
Tell
man,
me, you were Donnie, weren't you?
no, it's nothing like that. Nothing that embarrassing that has come back up. But for reasons that, of course, it's not my fault. I saw New Kids on the Block in concert either 5 or 6 different times because the age that my sisters were and I was.
Oh, your sister's fault.
Yeah. Well, I was driving. They were not allowed to go to the concert unless I took them and went there with them. So 5 or 6. So I pretty much could sing "Hanging Tough."
Oh, yeah.
From from cover to cover. Not that it's catchy or anything,
No.
but because I heard it so much, it was forced upon me. But my sisters were huge fans, and that was my parents' rule. You can go, but Jamie's got to take you. So and one of the times we had really good tickets, and at the time I didn't know how lucky I was, but I was just a young kid sitting on the 3rd row at Starwood with nothing but teenage girls around me, and I'm sitting there going, "This is miserable."
Right. Hey, I've been busted at a red light knocking out some New Kids before.
It might be a little catchy. Some of it sticks with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's 2 kinds of guys in our age group. The ones that like New Kids on the Block, and the ones that lie, that say they don't like.
I say they never listened to any of those songs ever.
Yeah, because we all did.
It was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what about? I didn't want to forget. That's really good. I didn't want to forget about basketball and baseball. Up on the hills. So how's things looking this year? What's the forecast with the new baseball coach? And basketball seems to be going relatively well.
I was convinced the way that things started to happen towards the end of the year in football and the beginning of the year in basketball, and a couple of times here lately in basketball, that we might have sold our soul to get Tony Vitello. And the deal with the devil is gone since he's gone to San Francisco, because we've been cursed ever since we found out we were losing him. Man, I don't care. The people that say they don't like Tony Vitello, it's because you didn't have him.
That happens a lot with good coaches. Oh man, but they become very polarizing all of a sudden. I hate him. I love him.
He's the guy. If you don't have him, you hate him. Yeah. You despise him. But say what you will about him, he's the only guy in the history of professional baseball that was hired to manage a team with no experience in the major leagues.
Says a lot. It says a lot.
Nobody can ever take that away from him. He's the first one that it's ever happened to.
It's a huge jump. And baseball traditionally, players and coaches, has always been that kind of old farm system. Yeah. You work your way up, you pay your dues. Yeah, so for him to make that jump, it's impressive. It's very impressive. Very impressive.
Obviously all of his guys love him. Mm-hmm. And that's my biggest fear was he was going to take his whole staff with him, which he did take
some.
He took 1 or 2 guys, but he couldn't have handpicked a better guy to stay behind. And I think I showed you how they announced.
Oh yeah, that video.
And the guys in the locker room went bananas. Yeah. When they found out that their favorite coach was staying with them, was going to be the new skipper. So it's going to be interesting. I know that people that don't like SEC. I'm not an SEC rah-rah guy.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not. But the SEC baseball, that's just a different. It used to be football.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But now it's a different monster in baseball.
Baseball has become. So much talent in the South. And then, for a long time, it was all the warm places.
Yep.
And everybody, because when Baylor played high school ball and everything, that's what they'd say. That's where all the great talent comes from, because they can play year round. Yeah. The South, everybody shuts it down in the winter. And then this whole travel ball thing exploded, and recruiting exploded, and everything online exploded. And now it doesn't matter where you're from. They're going to find you, and you can go where you want to go. I mean, Vandy, for example, I haven't looked at their schedule recently, but I know a couple of years ago, their first 20 games were on the road.
Yeah.
You know, they'd play Stanford in a series, UCLA in a series, somebody, Cal Poly, somebody like that. They just stay on the road where it's warm and then come back here, which of course, budgets are better now. So teams can go and stay and do that kind of stuff. And with another thing that COVID brought along, so much more online learning. Yeah. So, hey, where are these, we'll be here another hour if I say the words, but these student athletes, where are they going to get all their schoolwork in if we don't have the classrooms and all that kind of stuff? So, there's a lot of topics there. But, yeah, I mean, they'll go where it's warm and play. You don't have to play here in February when it's, 20 degrees.
Gosh, I can't imagine if we had online classes when I was in college, because that might have opened up a whole new world for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can think about the amount of time that you spent studying if everything was online. And all the information that's available online. I mean, there's really not an answer you can't find somewhere on some. So how? We're going to go down a rabbit hole. If I say what I'm going to say. But it's definitely interesting. Yeah, yeah.
What's out there now, option wise for education?
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
It is. There's some different stuff. So with So that's baseball. So basketball, at the day we're recording this and talking, Vanderbilt just had their first loss.
Yeah.
The men. So we'll see how that goes from here. It'll either be a great loss where they build on it or start something that's not great. But it's interesting to see where they're really at.
On paper, Vandy wins that game easy.
Oh, yeah.
On paper.
Yeah.
Especially when you're looking at the body of work up until this time.
Sure.
If you would have told me, I told you I didn't even know that they were playing each other when they played Texas the other night. I'd have watched the game.
Yeah.
But if you'd have told me that Texas would have beat them, and you told me that it was kind of convincing,
pretty convincing. Yeah.
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 It just that made no sense.
Yeah.
And again, NIL has changed everything. Here we're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
NIL has changed everything where it literally is anybody can beat anybody on any night.
And that's the beauty of sports in general and college sports is you do have a team that looks so dominant in whatever sport you're talking about. And then they lose and just look like a completely different team. And you're like, it's the same guys, same whatever, what's going on. But it's kind of what draws you back in all the time. Yeah. I think, the NFL forever talked about parity. Yeah. And I think with the NIL and everything now, it's, a school from anywhere can be, look at Indiana. Yeah. If that doesn't prove NIL can
3 years ago, they won 3 games.
Yeah. And they're playing for a national championship this week.
And have beat the living crap out of almost everybody they've played. I think they've had 2 close games this year.
They've looked like they're in a class by themselves. Yeah. And 3 years ago, they couldn't barely. And if you see some of the crowds they've shown all kinds of memes and stuff where there's one guy in a section. They weren't even on anybody's map. Even the people that went to the school and alumni weren't going to the games. And now, all because, and it's solely because of NIL. Yeah. Because you can get guys in there, bring guys from other schools, and there's still a lot to it because there's some schools out there that spent a whole lot of money and didn't get them anywhere.
Boy, I just hated to see them beat Alabama like they did.
That hurt your feelings?
Man. I just felt so sorry for the Bammers out there.
Yeah. So all those fan bases that are out there. So Indiana, beat Ohio State, beat Alabama. They've rattled some cages this year where people are like, "Oh, we're playing Indiana. We'll show they don't belong. Yeah, we're Bama. We're the Ohio State University."
Yeah. Oh, and and rightfully so. After Bama took that whipping, the Notre Dame fans and the Vandy fans went,
of course,
hey, we could have done better than that. I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's the whole thing of who knows. Because I was a big proponent. Of course, I'm a Vandy fan, wanted them to get in, knew that they weren't going to get in. So I never at any point thought they were going to get in once everything played out. But I wish they would have got the chance. But then again, I was one of the people going, Miami has no business being in this playoff. No business at all. And they are, they're there in the championship round. So it just goes to prove that you don't know, any given Saturday, Sunday, whatever day they play now, because there's so many games. But yeah, you just don't know. It'd be interesting to see. But then again, they're talking about expanding. If they expand to 16, there's going to be a 17 and 18 that are mad, that say we deserve to be in there. So I don't know if you're ever gonna fix it fully.
You know the most impressive thing that Miami did in this playoffs?
I don't know. Maybe kept Michael Irvin under control.
No.
They hadn't done that very well.
They made me root for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about you've got the parting of the Red Sea, and then you've got Blair rooting for Ole Miss. So Miami was able to pull that off.
That's a pretty big feat. I mean, because I know you pretty well. They've done something by doing that.
And then I see Michael Irvin
with his belt off and running around.
Wonder who I'm going to be for when they play Indiana.
I don't have a clue. We don't want to. No spoilers here. I don't want to. Don't predict it too early.
Yeah, I mean,
and even so, I think you got to pull for Indiana just because of the story. I mean, I definitely would be pulling for them anyways because Miami's the whole thing. But yeah, I mean that kind of story. I mean, it's almost be a shame if they don't win it because of how far they've come to just be like, wow, he did it.
We touched on this before. Signetti reminds me a lot of Tony Vitello.
Yeah.
Brash.
Very.
Very brash. And thank God he's not somewhere like Alabama.
Can you imagine?
Ohio State.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I'm glad that somebody took it like Indiana took a flyer on him to bring him in because I just don't know if I could handle him at a program like that. I can root for him right now.
Yeah, it'd be a lot.
But he better not wind up at Florida or Bama or Ohio State or Notre Dame or somewhere like that.
There's some personalities in the SEC. Old Lane Boy's been jumping around. So we always have plenty to talk about in the SEC with coaching. There's some personalities. But I always think people like him. It'd be so great if one of your jobs starting out was to be a team covering the beat for that team. Because if you had somebody like that around, you literally just pick up the microphone and go.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to get gold. You ain't got to pull nothing out of him or, just ask some question. Just go, did my job.
You and I have talked about this. I think we have. I know that I've said this with Letzler. Tennessee was this close at one time to having Tony Vitello, Bruce Pearl, and Lane Kiffin on campus at the same time. They might have been.
That would have been something.
They're already one of the most hated.
Yeah, but all three of those at the same time. Can you imagine?
That would have been insane.
Yeah. Because what was that when Lane left? The whole burning the mattresses and all that. That was all during that kind of mess. But can you imagine if you had all three of those polarizing guys there at the same time? Which we're about to wrap up. But I was just gonna say it would be crazy to imagine those polarizing figures at the same time. And then you got stuff like, fast forward, Bruce Pearl should have never left. I mean, what?
Well, he got canned for something that's now's not even a violation.
Right. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
And he loved Knoxville.
Oh my gosh, man.
Absolutely loved it.
Definitely a Tennessee hater, not a big Tennessee fan. But when you get a guy like that that's so into it and pulls the students in and pull like the crowds they got, you can't, if you're a true sports fan, you can't help but step back and go, dude, they got a good one. They got a good one.
At Summit wearing a cheerleader's
uniform. Yeah. I mean, he had it.
That tells you how much pull he had.
What he brought there was,
oh my goodness.
I mean, the excitement and that's what you want. I mean, that is totally what you want. I don't care, like I said, love them or hate them. You look back and you go, that's what you want. You want somebody that's going to pull. And like you said, everybody from Pat Summit to the students to the alumni, it was just bringing everything, kind of like what they thought was going to happen this year with North Carolina football. But, Jordan made it out to one game. But but he had that, but when Pearl was there, it was, man, just
I
all
tell
in.
You talk about a town that fell in love with a guy.
Yeah.
And a guy that fell in love with the town, too.
Oh, yeah.
After he was let go, and he stayed in Knoxville for a while.
Yeah.
I was at Calhoun's on the river a night before one of the football games, and he was just there. Like he still was a coach.
Yeah.
And was just walking around shaking hands like a politician, buying people beers and just Diet Cokes,
Loving
and
it.
just he was awesome and just down to earth.
Yeah.
You'd have never thought that he was the coach of the men's basketball team. You'd have thought he was just, one of the guys out there.
It's rare to find.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
Yeah. Well, man, I guess we'll get this thing wrapped up, get back to life and all the fun stuff that we can't wait to do. But thank you for being here today and
absolutely
sharing a little bit. Any parting thoughts before we jump off here?
Man, none that I can think of. I'm just thank you for having me here. I've enjoyed it. Just felt like we were just sitting in the office shooting the breeze.
Absolutely. Well, thank y'all for joining us today. Give Blair a call if you've got any real estate needs, any mortgage needs. Also, if you just want to talk Big Orange or anything like that, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to oblige. So.
Or even old school wrestling.
Oh, man, we're gonna do this again because I've got some ties to some old school wrestling,
yes, you do.
And we'll have to sit and talk about that sometime soon for sure. We'll get a whole nother episode on that. So. Thank y'all for being here. If we can help you with anything, you just need somebody to reach out to have a kind word or talk to about anything, we're always here. Thanks. We'll see you next time.